WCIA 3 News.
Very angry, but they still come here to do their job every day.
State workers are upset over pay raises they never got. Why Governor Quinn says there is nothing he can do about it.
Plus, this Sangamon County home will become a safe haven for women nationwide. How it will help girls involved in sex trafficking start over.
Plus, time is running out for lawmakers. Why no deal on the nation's debt could put your Social Security on the line.
Caring, connected, committed. This is WCIA 3 News at 5.
Danville Correctional Center employees are taking to the streets to get their voices heard. They're upset and say they deserve the pay raise they were promised. Good evening, I'm Dave Benton.
And I'm Jennifer Roscoe. Across Illinois, state workers took to the picket lines. They say Governor Quinn is going against his word. WCIA 3 Sophia Beausoleil has tonight's top story. She's live in the newsroom now. And Sophia, employees from the prison held up signs in protests. So what do they want to see happen?
Jennifer, they want their raises, and they fear that collective bargaining is in jeopardy and everything that it stands for. The local union from AFSCME 2052 in Danville walked in the heat, held up signs, and they read what said, "Keep your word." Employees say they were supposed to get a pay raise. Governor Quinn canceled a 2% increase for about 30,000 state employees July 1st. He says lawmakers didn't put enough money aside in the budget and that there is no money to give out. Union members say he's violating a contract and believe the governor is overstepping his power.
When you sign an agreement, you keep your word and live up to that agreement. I mean, we don't walk away from our job because he stopped our pay. We still come here and do our job, and we ask that he give us our pay raises that we've deferred for 3 times to help the state save money.
The picket went on for 2 hours. The union says it will probably have other protests in the future. Reporting live in the newsroom, Sophia Beausoleil, WCIA 3 News.
All right, thank you, Sophia. More than 75 work sites around the state were part of the protest, and 8 of those were right here in central Illinois. In Champaign, workers were hoping to change the governor's mind.
He wasn't being the honorable man that we thought he was. I hope he takes a step back and starts treating us with the respect that we deserve.
Workers say they'll keep fighting until they get that money.
But Governor Quinn says his hands are tied, and today's demonstrations will do little to change his mind. You see, the governor says he simply can't give raises because the money isn't there. Now, he says the General Assembly didn't appropriate enough money in this state budget, so he suggests that union members should be talking to lawmakers. He says he doesn't have the power to appropriate raises or to give them out, only to reduce spending. He says he has to ensure that all the state's departments have enough money in their budget in case there's an emergency.
I want to make it very clear. The reason I had to do what I had to do is to make sure we have enough money to get through the whole year for all of our departments.
Now, the union has filed a federal lawsuit asking the governor, trying to force the governor to give those pay raises, but the governor says he is willing to go to court over this matter. So we'll see how things play out in that arena. Well, meanwhile, there are people in Decatur. They're protesting cuts by the United Way.
2 programs are gone, and with them 2 jobs. Now there are cries for resignation. The Decatur Trades and Labor Assembly met today. They want the United Way's executive director to leave. The group cut 2 programs because it felt the community wasn't benefiting. But the union says Decatur needs these programs now more than ever, so they're setting up a new fund of their own.
This is a more efficient way to get your donations directly to the need in the community.
It's called the We Are the Community. Money will go to nonprofits that aren't partnered with the United Way. A 3-story, 6-bedroom house is off the market in Sangamon County. It'll soon become a home for more than a dozen young girls. All were forced to give up their childhoods and sell their bodies on the streets. WCIA 3's Ann Kelly reports on how this one-of-a-kind home will help them heal.
Well, we have a church family over. We're trying to figure out how to do this step by step and prayer by prayer.
Ann McDaniels has a big job ahead of her. In a month, 14 teenagers are moving into the Sangamon County home.
One of our girls that has been invited here, her father sold her at the age of 15 in Vegas for gambling money. Her own father sold her.
The other girls coming to this Grounds of Grace home have similar stories.
These are not girls that were involved in prostitution. These were girls who were slaves involved in human trafficking.
They're now over 18, have gone through therapy, and are trying to regain their lives.
Many of us got to have parents or aunties to help us learn how to go through life. These girls have not had anyone to mentor them. So they will come here and learn their life skills from adult women.
Women who have researched human trafficking abroad and even lived on the streets themselves.
I believe in it with the core of my being, and I believe we're going to make a difference.
By teaching these former victims how to budget money, shop for groceries, but most importantly, run their own lives.
We have education, we have medical, we have everything available in Jacksonville as well as Springfield to offer these girls and give them a better life.
In Sangamon County, Ann Kelly, WCIA 3 News.
Very committed. Now the girls are traveling to the home from LA in August. The nonprofit tells us the Springfield area is an ideal place for a shelter because human traffickers travel right through it on their way to bigger cities. To find out more information about Ground of Grace and how you can donate to the cause, go to our website, illinoishomepage.net.
Catholic Charities' relationship with the state isn't over yet. We're keeping you connected to the Capitol tonight. Well, today a judge granted Catholic Charities a temporary injunction. That means its contracts with the state are still valid. Last week, the state said it would stop using Catholic Charities for foster care because the group opposes civil unions. Well, both sides will be back in court next month.
Social Security checks could be on the line if lawmakers don't reach a deal on the nation's debt ceiling. It's topping headlines across the nation now. President Obama told CBS News he can't guarantee the checks will go out on August 3rd as planned. He says it's because there may not be any money to send them. The deadline for Republicans and Democrats to reach a deal is August 2nd. If it's not done by then, the Treasury Secretary warns the U.S. may not be able to pay all of its bills.
A former First Lady being remembered today. Hundreds gathered to honor the life of Betty Ford at a national tribute service in California. Ford died Friday at the age of 93. She's most remembered for opening up to the public about her own struggles with alcoholism and breast cancer. Following today's service, her body will be flown to Michigan for a private funeral.
And here's what we're working on new tonight at 6. It's a bumpy ride for drivers. A railroad crossing is in need of repair, but there's a holdup. Why City may not be ready to sign off on the project just yet. Plus, we brought you this incredible video of a roof collapse, a building collapse in downtown Bloomington yesterday. At 6, why we may never know why it went down. That and lots more new tonight at 6. All right, you may think your alarm clock is annoying. I hate that.
Yeah, well, there's no comparison, really.
Okay.
Take a listen to this. A train horn that wouldn't stop sounding. It happened at about 3 o'clock this morning. It happened on the north end of Champaign. It could be heard for miles, we're told. There's no word yet on why the train had a problem with its horn. It just kept going and going and going.
Yeah, still the alarm clock next to me.
You find that more annoying?
I still think that wins.
All right.
All right, well, one man's passion for biking is taking him across state lines. That excitement is also being passed on to his family.
Can't imagine your alarm clock. Also tonight, in the bigger picture.
We sell people with disabilities short.
And that's why one manager is giving them a chance. See how it's changing corporate America.
Live from WCIA 3 News, caring, connected, committed. Jennifer Roscoe, Dave Benton, weather with meteorologist Jennifer Ketchmark. You're watching WCIA 3 News at 5. Caring, connected, committed.
In Connecticut, one company wants more diversity in its workforce.
But it's not focusing on ethnicity or race. Tonight, Allison Kosick explains in the bigger picture.
With every box that's opened,
To realize that we are a community, that we're part of something bigger.
Allison Kosick reporting for us. So now it's your turn. What do you think about this whole idea?
Do you think more companies should hire people with disabilities? Give us your thoughts at illinoishomepage.net. Click on news and look for the Your Turn link. We'll read your comments at the end of this newscast.
She said some strong storms could pop up today.
And lo and behold, they finally popped up. They're definitely tapping into all that energy out there. We'll tell you more about warnings coming up right after the break. We've got some new ones, some storms that are just barely getting into the viewing area. But Champaign right now, clear skies. Paris, actually some more clouds have moved in. That's where it is 90 degrees, but feels like 98. And this picture from Paris comes from Harry Parish. This was taken on a beautiful sunny day. So up next, the latest on watches and warnings for central Illinois.
Well, a Central Illinois man is gearing up for the ride across Indiana. Bob Zolman started doing triathlons back in 2009. Well, this next race goes from Terre Haute to Richmond, Indiana. It'll help him train for the Ironman in August. Well, getting going wasn't so easy.
And I walked most of the swim. It's in a pool, and the bike ride was kind of fun, but it was extremely windy. And then I walked most of the run, and during that I was like, I like this. This is fun, and we've taken off from there.
Lost over 9.
He sure has. His family is getting into the sport as well. Now, in the past 3 years, Zolman has lost about 60 pounds. His wife has lost about 95.
That's what happens when you bike from state to state.
Exactly. You lose a few pounds.
In this weather, you just starts falling off.
Wow.
Well, a century-old building is getting a major makeover.
Brings a lot of pride to the community.
How people in our town, Paris, work together to make this project possible.
Continues now.
A more than 100-year-old building is almost finished getting a fresh look.
It's in our town, Paris. Now, the Edgar County Courthouse is having its clock tower restored. It also includes the bell and the famous Lady Justice statue. Now, historians say it has stood the test of time, but wear and tear over the years has inspired the town to fix it. The project cost about $1 million, and locals dug into their own pockets to help pay as well.
It's been very rewarding, and I think the community itself has certainly been very supportive. Came together to raise nearly $150,000 to supplement the funding that the city and the county had put together.
Now, we're told the project has about a month left. The courthouse is on the National Register of Historic Buildings.
It really is amazing.
We'll see it on Friday.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll be right back with your comments on tonight's Bigger Picture. It is your turn, the Bigger Picture tonight. That amazing factory that has all of the people there, 80% disabled. Love it. Julie says a disability does not mean an inability. So I see this as a very positive action and hope more businesses would follow in their footsteps.
Marianne would agree, saying it's a shame that we haven't heard of this before.
Maybe we'll hear more of it now. All right, so we have some storms.
Yeah, we're still looking at severe thunderstorm warnings from Macoupin and Montgomery County, along with Fayette County, until 6 p.m. tonight. It looks like mainly winds in excess of 60 miles per hour and nickel-sized hail. All of these moving southeast. So we will continue to monitor these. Actually, you'll see them right here on Storm Tracker radar, where the heaviest storms stretching right now from Carlinville to Litchfield, and then one just to the northwest of Ramsey. So do get ready for some thunder to come rolling through town here pretty soon.
Kind of a bumpy night. Stay with us. We'll keep you up to date.
The CBS Evening News is next. We'll see you at 6.